What happened to my hair? Oh my god. Going bold. Going bold, guys. For real. I'm going bold. Lost my hair. Chop, chop, chop. It's gone. But I want to make a nice video on something important called nasal breathing versus mouth breathing. Right? Why? What's good? What's bad about mouth breathing? What's good and bad about nasal breathing? And why mouth breathing is probably one of the worst things you could ever do for your health. Obviously, we've been taught upon us as babies and kids. Our mums and dads never correct. And it literally makes you stupid, by the way. It makes you stupid and unhealthy. But I got some mechanisms that come up today from Justin of Extreme Health Radio. Did a show about it, and there's some my knowledge as well I want to put out. Just talking about the loads of reasons. And if you guys want to chip in, by the way, because you guys are just as knowledgeable as me, if you want to chip in with is why we don't want to be mouth breathing 24/7. Anytime you do not want to be breathing through your mouth. The only times is okay is when you're doing pranayama. That's special breathing exercises, or Wim Hof breathing. It's okay, but during rest, talking, whatever, you don't want to be breathing through your nose, because that's one of the surest ways to make yourself really, really, really unhealthy. And why? Right? So straight off the bat, if anyone does know in the comments, let me know. But if I'm missing off anything, so people that mouth breathe, kids that mouth breathe, end up with wrong jaw alignment and wrong teeth growing alignment as a result of the jaw being wrong. So when a baby transitions to childhood and teenagehood, and they've just got this habit, which their parents never correct, they never correct, of mouth breathing, which is very common in youngsters nowadays, and it's only going to get worse. It affects the jaw alignment. By the way, it affected my jaw alignment. I had to go. My teeth were all over the place. You know, they got rewired wrong. I had to go and get braces. Why do you think kids have braces nowadays? Very simple. Because they're mouth breathing. It's mouth breathing. Youngsters mouth breathing. It fucks up the jaw. Fucks up the natural alignment of your body. Yeah, and your jaw gets misaligned, then the teeth gets misaligned, then the wisdom teeth start hurting and coming through wrong, and it's just wrong for the jaw. Very bad. Number one. Number two, mouth breathing affects your posture. So if you're breathing perennially during the daytime, or even at times, you should never be breathing through your mouth. When you are, it's affecting your posture in a negative fashion. And your posture is everything. Alignment of the spine and the Kundalini chakras is everything. Posture affects breathing. It's really, really bad. It's going to affect your breathing. It's going to make you more acidic. You do not want your posture to be poor. You want to do as much for your posture as possible to keep it straight and aligned. And one of the surefire ways to fuck up your posture is to be caught in this unconscious pattern of breathing. And many people breathe through the mouth. They think they breathe through the mouth and the nose properly during the day. That might be true. But actually, a lot of people, when they're sleeping at night time, they're ending up with their mouth open, breathing through their mouth. So they're right. They breathe through their nose correctly during the day. But for some reason, in the night time, they've got this habit of the mouth. And how do you know you're breathing through the mouth, by the way? When you wake up in the mornings, you're going to have a dry mouth. This is not good. I'm going to talk about a dry mouth especially, and mouth breathing and sleep as another little thing. But I was talking about posture there. So we've got jaw alignment. Fucks up your jaw alignment. Fucks up your teeth. You don't want to fuck that shit up. So this is bad. Mouth breathing. Got to stop doing it. We've got to be conscious of when we're mouth breathing and stop practicing nasal breathing. Daytime and nighttime. It's going to fuck up your jaw. It's going to fuck up your posture. But that's barely scratching the surface of how bad mouth breathing is. Let me go into more. When you breathe through your nose versus your mouth, your nose has a system where the nose spirals the air as we breathe into it. So there's a spiral going on, a spiral pattern of oxygen, a vortex. And there's a vortex of the air that we breathe in. It's really important for the body to get this vortex, this spiral pattern of air. In the same way that it's important for us to have structured water, which is a spiral vortex pattern of water, very healthy. In the same way, we need air coming into our system body that has been spiraled and vortexed. And you don't get that when you mouth breathe. You don't get special spiralized. You could look at it like structured air. You know, that's the same way water's structured. Think of it like that. Structured water we want. We also want structured air. And the way to structure the air, the body has a unique way of structuring the air that we want. Structured air is more powerful than non-structured air. The way to get structured air in your system is to use the natural vortices channels as the air comes up through your nose. It doesn't happen when you're through the mouth. So that's why another reason. This spiral vortex pattern of the nose, when it gets sucked up through the nose, which is the proper method of breathing, when it goes in, creates something called nitric oxide. So this spiral vortex pattern creates nitric oxide in the nose. And also, there's nitric oxide in the nose anyway, waiting to be released into the body. But when you breathe through your mouth, you don't get, there's no nitric oxide in my mouth here. So when I breathe through my mouth, I don't get the nitric oxide, because there's none in the mouth, into the body. But there is nitric oxide. It's sitting all the time, sitting in your nasal cavity. The nitric oxide sitting in your nasal cavity is there for a reason. It's there so when you suck, and every breath you take in, the air gets in through the nose, and it takes the nitric oxide. The nitric goes down the trachea and into the lungs. Nitric oxide is very powerful. Most of you guys are well aware of what it does. It dilates the blood vessels. It's very powerful and very important to focus on optimizing and high levels of nitric oxide. Dilates the blood vessels, keeps the heart relaxed, keeps all the blood vessels all around the body relaxed. Really important to get that into your lungs. You don't do that. You don't get that relaxation. You don't get that nitric oxide, the proper nitric oxide levels when you breathe through your mouth. This is why nose breathing is really important. As well as thinking of the structured air vortices, think about nitric oxide. You're not getting it when you mouth breathe, you do get it with your nose. So let's carry on. Yep, another one. When you breathe through your nose versus your mouth. When you breathe through your nose, air goes in properly and oxygenates the entire lung. Not just the top half, not just the middle path, but the bottom. All areas of the lungs are covered with oxygen, with fresh air, when you breathe through your nose. Now the same cannot be said for when you drink through your mouth. Breathe through your mouth. When you breathe through your mouth, the top half and sometimes the middle gets oxygenated and the air gets in there, but it doesn't get in to the bottom of the lungs when you breathe through your mouth. Now why is that a problem? If you don't get air into the entire lungs, if it's not going to the bottom from mouth breathing, you're also going to be shallow breathing. You don't want to be shallow breathing. You want to be deep breathing. Slow, deep breaths. How do you do slow, deep breaths? You breathe through the correct mechanism of your nose. You don't breathe. And if you want shallow breaths and you want more stress in your life, then you're going to be breathing through your mouth. In other words, you can make your life a lot easier and a lot happier and a lot healthier if you breathe through your nose. You're going to oxygenate the entire of the lungs. The lungs are meant to have air all over the system from the top, the middle to the bottom. And they're not getting that when you do it through the mouth. They will do it when you get through the nose. Right? It's another one. We got more. It's obvious ones. The nose has cilia and hairs in them. And when you breathe through your nose, it's like a filtering system. A very powerful filtering system from the bacteria in the air. Right? There is such a thing as bacteria. So this is your protection. Like, this is your first line of defense against any viruses or anything toxins out there, that are really dangerous. First line of defense is the nasal hairs. So it gets trapped in there, right? Guess what? When you breathe through your mouth, you don't have that protection. You're taking air without its protection mechanism. Your first line of defense against dangerous air, if you look at it like that, is your nose hairs. And you ain't getting that when you take it through the mouth. Another one, when you breathe through your nose, the nose warms up the air and makes, you look at this, the nose up the air, and that's important for the lungs to have warm air. Now it's dangerous and it's not healthy for the lungs to have really sharp, cold air. And that's exactly what you're doing when you breathe through your mouth, unconsciously or consciously. You're taking in air without its protection. The nose is designed to warm the air up, to keep the lungs safe and to keep the lungs functioning at optimal levels. And if you're not doing that when you mouth breathe, so that's another reason. Bacteria, protection, first line defense. Think of that. Your nose is your first line defense. It's like your army of health. Like your immune system is your army of disease. Your first army of defense against the poisons and toxins are there in your nose and your nose hairs. You're not using it. And it also warms up the air, really important for cold days. You don't want cold air coming to your lungs without, it's going to damage your lungs over time if you're breathing cold air in constantly without that heating system that the nose provides. If you're always breathing through your mouth in cold winter, you are fucked. You are fucked. You are seriously fucked. I'll just say hi to people I can. Hi, do mate. Yeah. Hair's gone. I've lost my powers. I'm like Samson. I've lost my spiritual powers. I'm alright, actually. I'm pretty happy. I'll tell you why. I'm a very optimistic person. And I always look at the positive. Now that my hair's got much shorter, I can splash urine on it, fresh urine on it, and get urine into my brain much easier. You know, it was long, it was hard work to put all that urine to get that soaking into my brain. Now my brain is like going to be even smarter than normal. I think I'm feeling pretty good today. I splashed some fresh urine straight off from this, so it was good. Cheers, John, bro. Thank you very much. Thanks for the post today, John, about I love your posts anyway, bro, but that was a really good post you did, about fasting fruits, turpentine, all that crap. Yeah. So, right, carry on with the nose. Got some good information out there. Just to repeat what we said already. Nose effects. So mouth breathing destroys your jaw alignment, natural jaw alignment, fucks up your teeth, and they're going to go all over the place. You're going to need braces. You don't want that. Fucks up your posture. Posture is huge. Going to help your breathing anyway. When you do it through the mouth, you want to breathe with your nose. What else did we say? Definitely know. Oh yes, air taken in through the nose is structuring the air. Just in the same way, water can be improved when we drink it. When it's structured water, we should start getting with the idea of structured air, vortexes of air, and the air pulled in through the nose. It creates a vortex. Very powerful. That vortex of air gets into the system, and that's what our body needs: structured air as well as structured water. You don't get that when you do it through the mouth. Another one, nitric oxide. You want nitric oxide and you want it in the lungs and in your body. The way to do that is there's nitric oxide at all times in your nose. If you breathe through your mouth, you're not getting that nitric oxide into your body. So that's a huge mechanism. And the one I just said before, which I've forgotten already. No, this is oh, another one. Oh yeah, I remember. Nose breathing puts air into it aerates the entire lungs from the top, the middle to the bottom. All lungs get air when you nose breathe naturally, but with the mouth, only the top and some of the middle, not the bottom. So you're going to be mouth breathing is shallow breathing, nose breathing is deep breathing, and as a consequence of this, mouth breathing creates acidity and lowers the pH of your blood and body. That's important. What I just said there, huge. Mouth breathing lowers the pH of your blood and body, creates acidity, which you don't fucking want, and nose breathing does the opposite. Nose breathing creates deep, slow breaths, which alkalize and raise the pH of the body. So nose breathing, in effect, is alkaline, and mouth breathing is acid. Every disease is acid. Everything in the nose is alkaline. So you want to be moving towards, we all preach it, we all know it. So this is just another mechanism to focus on work where we can become more alkaline, aside from food, diet, light. It's how you look after your body and how you breathe. How crazy is that? How you breathe affects your acidity of your body. So start working on, if you're breathing through the mouth at night, there is mechanisms I talk about right at the end, if I remember. Or someone could remind me if I forget. But there are ways we can completely stop breathing through the mouth and start focusing on breathing through the nose, because it's going to make us more alkaline. We want that. We want our blood to be more alkaline. It's a simple trick. Not even a trick. It's a simple habit that we should all be doing, that we've lost. Some of us have lost away, and I did as a kid. That's why I had braces and I've had problems, and my jaws, like, I've had TMJ and all this kind of stuff. Which is crazy. You're going to love this one. You're going to love this one. I fucking love this one. I learned this today, and this makes so much sense to me. Okay, so your saliva. Your saliva is special. It's got antibodies, it's got antibodies, antigens, it's got white blood cells, lymphocytes. There's a lot going on in the saliva, yeah? There's a lot of shit going on in the saliva, and it's important. Now, when you, trying to figure out how to say this. So you've got saliva in the mouth, and it's there for a reason. And one of the reasons why saliva is there in such huge quantities in the mouth, it's not just digestion. Yeah, people think it's digestion only. That's the only purpose of, the digestive enzymes for the saliva here. So when you eat, chew the food, lubricate and provide the enzymes to digest before it gets in the body. One reason. There's a huge reason I only learned on today that makes complete sense, and I'm saying this for you and for me, so I've got to remind myself. The saliva is there in such huge quantities in the mouth for another reason. Like, it's got the white blood cells, it's got the antibodies to prevent anything, any obstructions, any bacteria and viruses from building up in your teeth, your gums, and your tongue. It's basically medicine. Saliva is medicine created by the god, if you or whatever you want, by source, whoever created us. Put saliva there to protect our mouth. Medicine to prevent mouth cavities, to prevent bacteria coming into the teeth, to prevent any kind of attacks from the wrong food we eat, the garbage food, or anything that's there. One of the first line defense to get for oral hygiene. Get this. One of the first things for oral hygiene is saliva. Yeah, saliva is one of the most important things for oral hygiene. Now you think, oh yeah, everyone's got saliva. So why are you talking about it, Harry? Why are you talking about saliva? Yeah, here's the thing. When you mouth breathe, and the longer you mouth breathe, the more dry your mouth becomes. You will feel this viscerally, and the less saliva you will have. So, say you breathe through the nose during the day, and you wake up in the mornings and you've got a dry mouth. I've been there before. Some of you probably been there before. Hopefully not now, but if you have now, it's okay to correct. Now you wake up with dry mouth. That means you've been breathing through the mouth at night time. Your mouth is dry because the saliva, you've opened your mouth, you're breathing through it, the saliva has gone down. So the saliva, which moistens your mouth, has just gone down, right? Why is this a problem? Less saliva, dry mouth in the mornings? I'll tell you why dry mouth's a big problem. Because now you've got less saliva and you've got less protection against all the bacteria, viruses, and poisons and residues from the food you just eaten the night before, even if you brush your teeth. Shouldn't even worry about brushing your teeth, by the way. Your first line defense is saliva and nasal breathing to oral hygiene. How crazy is what I just said there? First line defense to oral hygiene maintenance is you have to learn to breathe 24/7 through your nose. So like I said, you wake up with a dry mouth. You've been breathing through your mouth. You're producing less saliva. Your saliva is your protection and your oral hygiene. Protects you against mouth cavities, bacteria, viruses, teeth. Lubricates all the gums, the tongue, all of this area is lubricated by saliva. That's one of the reasons why saliva was created, to protect your mouth. Yeah, first line defense we're talking about. First line defense, look after your teeth, your mouth, your gums. That's what saliva does. And when you mouth breathe, you've just lost that protection because your mouth is dry and you're producing less saliva. I learned that today, and that's fucking powerful. I've not heard nobody say that since I heard that today. It made so much sense, and it's so obvious, right? It's such an obvious thing, but such a powerful thing. Holy shit. You know, saliva is there to protect us, we don't need mouthwash. Fuck mouthwash. Start learning to stop breathing through your mouth and start breathing through your nose, and you'll keep your saliva, because your saliva is your mouthwash. And by the way, from what I learned about saliva, there's two things produced by the body, going off topic a little bit, there's two things produced by the body, the most powerful. Number one is always be urine. And when it ages, it becomes magical, but even fresh urine, holy shit, that's your medicine, number one. It's your medicine, number one. But number two, your saliva. Yeah, that's medicine. So if you're too scared to do pee, for whatever reason, you know, brainwashing or whatever, you've got another backup mechanism you might be less scared of, which is saliva. So you get a cut, put the saliva on it. You get a wound, put the saliva on it, because the saliva's got the antibodies and the white blood cells and all the good stuff, you know. It's secondary to urine, but it's still powerful, and it's been created for us for that reason, to help us out. And that's why it protects the mouth, the saliva. Very powerful. It's gone, Stacey, mate. Hi, Marilyn. Yeah. Harry's gone. I'm dead. I'm died. I'm like Samson. I've lost my powers. For real. But yeah, that was huge. And I think I've covered all the bases. I think I've covered all the bases I wanted to cover with nose versus mouth breathing. Posture, jaw, acidity, alkaline, deep breathing, shallow breathing, oral protection, oral hygiene, nitric oxide, and structured air. Very special. This is the power. The nose is the power. It's the system. You know, if you go into yoga, the left nose is the right brain, and the right nose is the left brain. That's very true. That's why alternate nose breathing works. This is amazing. I will give you some advice on how to fix it. It's very simple. If you're breathing at nighttime through the mouth and you wake up with a dry mouth, all you need to get some tape and literally tape your mouth together. I don't mean normal tape either. I mean cellophane. 1 second, I'll get it. Get some of this tape. I'm not sure what this tape is called, duct tape or something. I don't know. Anyway, get some of this. It's very cheap. You can get on Amazon. And tape this into your mouth every night. I've done this for the first couple of weeks when I was mouth breathing. I don't think I do mouth breathing now. But it's good if you are. And it's good to do anyway. I'm hardcore, but I don't do this, and it's one of those things on the back of my mind I need to start getting back into. Even though I don't think I mouth breathe at night, I'm gonna just make sure at some point by putting this back on, putting the mouth tape, you know. And it's not even a joke or a laughable thing. There's many professionals that understand the power of nasal breathing, like people that know way more than me, you know, that I learned from about nasal breathing. People I look up to, and they do this. They recommend it, and they do it every night just to make sure that they're breathing through their nose. And you don't die. Your nose will adapt to the fact that even if you mouth breathe normally at night time, you zip your mouth shut with this, your nose will adapt even if it's blocked, and it will just allow you to breathe through it. And you'll wake up so refreshed when you stop mouth breathing at night time. You know, I think there's some health people out there that still breathe through their mouth. You know, no one's perfect, and we've all got bad habits. We might alkalize with diet and food, fasting and fruits and urine, but you know, you're doing yourself injustice if you're still breathing through your mouth. You know, you're still acidifying your system. You do not want that. So you definitely start doing this and create awareness of what you're doing during the day. Like, are you breathing through your mouth? Be conscious of it. I do it when I get stressed. So I've got work to do on this area. When I get stressed, I start breathing through my mouth. It also makes you really stupid as well. There's truth to that. You become stupid the more you breathe through your mouth. It makes you less intelligent. I think acidic bodies and shallow breathing make you less intelligent anyway. It makes you more stressful. So, you know, it's just not good. You should not be doing this. You should not be breathing through your mouth and thinking it's a good thing. It was not how nature designed us. You know, the Red Indians used to teach their children, when they used to see their children breathing incorrectly through their mouth, they used to shut their mouth. The parents used to go up to them and go, shut their mouth like that. And that's called good parenting. You won't see that nowadays. But that's called good parenting. You know, if I ask my parents, I'm sure your parents are the same. They'll be like, what? Mouth breathing? What's wrong with that? You know, they probably don't even know, most people. But it's not the thing to do. The nose is for a reason, man. Come on. Why is the nose there? To get oxygen in. It's obvious, isn't it? Like, the mouth is not for... This is obvious. The mouth is for eating. The nose is for breathing. Ears are for hearing. That's for seeing. But now people in our cultures are using the mouth for breathing. The mouth is for eating. It's not for breathing. Right? It's an emergency system. Like, if you're hardcore exercising, that's okay, by the way. If you're really tired and you're exercising, you're really fucking... That's fine. You can mouth breathe at that point. Try not to, but you can at certain points when you're really going hard with the exercise. It's okay. You know, that's not going to kill you. But if the daytime you're relaxed, if you're open your mouth and, you know, you're breathing through your mouth, that is not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Yeah, Brian, makes wood. Aged urine relaxes, makes you deep breathe. Aged urine, bathing, and aged urine makes you deep breathe. I think aged urine is a great correction tool for people that are breathing through their mouth in the morning and night. Take some aged urine, you'll be fine. Yeah. I knew there's going to be jokes about my fucking hair. It's not good, hey? Nah, it's alright, I'm happy. I can wash it way more easy. Alright, let me just check what's going on here. And, alright, so I'll leave you. Remember, reminder. Fucks up posture, fucks up jaw, mouth breathing. Stops the vortex, the structured air. You get non-structured air, not very good for you. Less nitric oxide when you mouth breathe. Acidifies your system. Dry mouth breathing means dry mouth, which means you are more susceptible to oral diseases. You do not want oral diseases. And on that note, I think I'm done. Alright. Oh, just read yeah, for real, people are dumb because they mouth breathe. And I used to I'm not smart or nothing, but when I was mouth breathing I was a lot dumber than I am now, for real. Yep. And the nose is the straight shot to the brain. Straight shot. Straight shot. Alright. Peace.